Hey, Seth here in my yard, just testing out my new tarp I got. This is the Winterdream 12. In addition to being more lightweight than my previous tarp, the big addition is the doors. I went with this particular tarp because they offer buttons for the doors. I really wanted doors that I could snap together. I'll still need to secure them here at the bottom, but this should provide a lot more protection than my previous tarp did. Obviously this is going to keep the wind out completely, but I think the doors will help a lot, and I feel a lot better about it not being just encased in a winter sock like I did last year. So I'm excited to try this out. There's 2 tie-outs on each side, and I will be able to add some guy lines so that I can secure them to branches to help keep the sides of the tarp from billowing in during the night. Also add stability in case of high winds. So as you can see, this is pitched pretty low, and as you can also see, the wind is really pushing it around a bit, so those tie-outs on the sides are going to be very important to be able to keep this from blowing in on me when I'm trying to sleep. The material is Sil Poly, which is one of the lighter fabrics they use now, so you do save on the weight, but it also means that it'll be a little lighter, so it's easier for the wind to knock around. So those tie-outs are going to be very important. They did provide a waterproof sealant that I must use for all of the stitching they did here on the tie-outs. They are not waterproof as is, but they did provide the materials so that I can do it. For my previous tarp, the ridgeline was attached to the tarp, so it just came right out of the tarp itself. In this case, I'm using a continuous ridgeline. I put this line up first, and I use this hardware to secure it in place. One nice aspect of these continuous ridgelines are these toggles here that connect to the tarp itself. These can be slid up and down, so that's how you can get the tarp just as tight as you want. And you can also move them so that you can center your tarp over the hammock. I think that'll be a nice feature, a big improvement over the last tarp where the ropes were coming out of each end of the tarp. So you had really, if you want to do it just the tarp, you had to undo the whole setup in order to move it. It was a pain. So this should work much better. The snake skin that I'm using for the tarp doesn't work as well with this tarp as opposed to my previous one, the Hennessy. The other big difference is that this tarp allows me to string it between 2 farther trees, but the straps for my hammock don't reach that far, so I may have to get some new hammock straps as well. So I transferred over my Dutchware hardware, the fleas. I'm going to probably move the wasps that I had on the other one over to handle the doors. These Dutchware fleas are really easy to tighten up. And just doing that, you can see it improves the tautness quite a bit. I think having the doors with that wind resistance as well as some privacy will be a nice benefit of this tarp. I tightened the guy lines down a bit, and that seems to have helped with the billowing from the wind, but definitely we'll still need to use those tie-outs on the sides if it gets really windy. Still, I like this tarp a lot. I'm looking forward to using it this winter. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll see you next time.